So first off, let's do a quick introduction. I do not think I know everybody that's here today. I missed December's meeting. So if we can just do a quick name and your position on the board or in the commission, and what committee you are on, if you have been assigned one. And then that will also count as your attendance recording.
Jumbo wings. Okay.
Elliot, will you mute for me? Thank you. Okay, so I'm Ryan Johnson. I'm the vice chair of the commission, and then I am also on the communications board with Holly. I am a nurse practitioner here in Raleigh.
Hi, everybody. I am Nick Slovak. I was not at December's meeting either. I apologize for that. I am on the outreach committee, and I would love to get some new members on there if anybody's interested. And I am the executive director of a recovery program in Raleigh called Green Hill Recovery.
Hi, my name is.
Hi. Go ahead.
Okay. It's hard to know. It's like a little game of, I'm Susan Foster. I work at the Post Center for Health Education. I'm the substance use prevention assistant director there. And I was there at the December meeting. It's good to see everybody again. I hope you had a safe holiday, happy holiday. And I'll turn it to the next person.
So I'm Chris Gibson. I work for Therapeutic Alternatives on their hospital transitions team, community mental health committee that help people transition from the hospital back to the community and get engaged in outpatient services. And as of yet, I have not been assigned to a committee, but I am interested in the communications and the outreach committee.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kimmy Amola, owner of Voice Therapeutic Solutions, a mental health agency based in Raleigh. December was my first meeting, so I'm excited to be joining this group. I haven't been assigned or haven't signed up for a committee yet.
Hey, I'm Holly Watkins. I work with the ARC of North Carolina, and I am currently on the communications committee. So we would love to have folks join our committee if you are willing and you find that that's something that interests you. Thanks.
I'm Sean Valley. I am also a board member, joined a few months ago. I am an attorney here in Raleigh. I work with a lot of startups and growing companies. Joined the committee primarily out of a personal interest and to help people who are going through struggles that I went through earlier in my life. And I've kind of been functioning as the ad hoc secretary, and I'm happy to kind of formalize that, but we'll be taking meeting minutes again today.
Hi, I am Aracelis Torres, and I am the liaison for this commission. I will also kind of give a caveat and introduce Sophia, and I'll let her talk. She's new to our staff, and she'll share what board she's going to be working with.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you for having me here today. I am new with the Department of Equity and Inclusion. I currently work for the Police Advisory Board. I just wanted to come in and see how you guys do things and just say hello to everyone.
Welcome, thank you. Elliot and Lynn, I think you're the last to introduce yourselves.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lynn Williams, and I am with the Alcohol Drug Council of North Carolina, and I also serve as the treasurer for the Substance Use Advisory Commission. I'm a woman in long-term recovery.
Elliot? Well, I'll talk for you, Elliot. Elliot's our chairman. He's been our chairman, gosh, I want to say 5 years. I'm not sure, 4 or 5 years. He is on an amazing conference now, right now, it looks like, so.
Yes, okay, thank you, Ryan. This is Elliot Palmer, Chairperson of the Commission, and right now I'm attending alternatives to recovery, alternative ways of recovery conference, sponsored by CCAR out of Connecticut. And we're down here in Florida. So I know yesterday when I left Raleigh, it was 38 degrees, and I'm happy to report to you all it's like 76 here right now. But yeah, thank you. So far as the chairperson's report, nothing too much to report at the moment. We got new members. I'm glad to see a full commission here on today. And I encourage everyone, the new members, please let myself or Ryan know which of the committees you would like to join. And Ryan, the last meeting, I think Sean was it Sean that volunteered to be secretary? Who volunteered to be secretary? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Sean.
Okay, cool. And great minutes last meeting. And I'm gonna be quiet and let Ryan and Susan run the meeting today. As I happen to be at lunch in this tiki bar or whatnot. But okay, you all.
Okay, great. Thanks, Elliot. So I think first order of business should be whatever the protocol is for getting Sean officially in the position of secretary. So do we just vote on that, Ara? Do you know?
So Sean volunteered, and unless there's any objections, that's all we have to do is.
Okay, great. Congratulations.
Before we proceed, I was just go ahead and get approvals for the agenda as well as for the minutes, and then we can move forward and we can definitely do a vote to get Sean in. He did volunteer, but just for us to get a vote in.
I thought that was the case. Okay. Hopefully everybody had a chance to look at the agenda today and the great minutes that Sean did from December. So if we could all just raise your hand in approval of the agenda for today. Show of hands. That is unanimous. And then additionally, for the minutes from the last meeting, were there any changes? If not, I'll approve. Great. And then second or third order of business, if we can all vote to have Sean become secretary of the commission. I nominate Sean. Do we have a second? Good. Third. Okay, that looks pretty unanimous there as well. So congratulations.
Congratulations, Sean.
Yeah. We're glad to have you for sure. You as well, Kimmy. So next, we do give a couple of minutes for public comment. I do see that there's a couple of the public attending today, and if they would like to introduce themselves and if there's anything they wanted to inform the committee on, we'd be happy to hear from them at this time.
I don't have any hands raised, but if you do raise your hand, we can bring you in for comments if you have any. And it seems like they might be city staff, so it might be they're just here to kind of view the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, you can move forward unless I see their hands raised. We'll let them in.
Our city council liaison is Corey Branch. He is not with us today. He has promised a visit with us sometime this spring. So I will be following up with him again to see if he can join us in the next couple of meetings. And when we do that, we will prepare for his meeting like we did when he wasn't able to be with us. So I'll be in contact and let you know about that. Chairman's report, Elliot kind of already gave. There wasn't much other than just kind of the nomination. I will ask the people that have not been assigned to a committee, which looks like Chris and Kimmy. I know there's a real need on the communications committee. And then the outreach and education are also really interesting committees. So if you want to just shoot me an email, I'll be happy to take whichever committee you want to be on, and then we can assign you to that committee and connect you to the other members. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Ryan, if I could interject one more thing.
Sure.
You all, we had on the chairman's report, I forgot to mention, we had the movie night last month. And I know it was short notice, and before we got everything out. But we need to, and since we're co-sponsoring with RCNC, to show up ourselves. If not, and also invite other participants to come. Chris showed up, but other than that, that was it. So RCNC's asked us if we could do, extend our reach a little bit, and if nothing else, for members of the commission to show up, so we can make these viewings successful and generate interest in the public.
Elliot,
Yes.
is there something we can maybe consider with the where we are with the pandemic, that in person inside for 2 hours might be something we need to maybe put on hold? Or I know I would not feel comfortable. So just kind of wondering if that also could be a hindrance to this being successful at the moment.
Well, yeah, it's a hindrance, but that's the times we're living in at the moment, with the pandemic going on. But I thought we had made a schedule of who would volunteer to host each week or represent the commission each month at the viewings. I don't know what we did with that list, but if we could did that list, or we could create a new list, and everyone volunteer to attend one of the viewings as representative of the commission.
Is it possible to move it virtual, or is that something that can't be done?
No, we can't really do a movie night virtual. We want to do after the movie, because we have the movie, and then following the movie, we have a discussion. Okay. And that discussion piece is where we get feedback and on issues dealing with recovery, dealing with substance use or misuse, and also get ideas on how the commission, we get our feedback from the citizens of Raleigh on how the commission can be of help, and or what we can, take back to the city council. So right now, no, it's not virtual. I mean, I'll be there, but we need more than just me, or we need to, if we can get the word out more, reach out to your circles and let your networks know that the movie night is going on, so we get more people attending.
I'm just saying it might be prohibitive because of where people are in our communities as a whole. Might need to be more cautious, and that might just be a barrier. Whereas maybe if we make it through January and February, we can see where the rates are, and maybe pick back up in March if everything needs to be better. Or it could go online. We could still meet all those goals online if we felt like we wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, well,
I just want to throw that out there.
Susan, I'm just saying right now it's scheduled January 24th. If it's an incentive to anyone, there's going to be pizza in addition before the movie. But January 24th is the date for this month for people that choose to come. But I think it's to let people know that it's going on. Let the citizens of Raleigh know that it is happening, taking place.
Okay, so if there's anyone that feels comfortable going on the 24th, please go, I think. Also, from the communication standpoint, Elliot, maybe that is something we can put out to through the city's social media and that kind of thing. Is that something we can do, Aura?
Yeah, we have been doing that,
Right.
at least for the past one, and it is something that we've been sharing.
Okay, and if you can attend on the 24th, let Elliot know. Okay. All right, next, I'm going to move forward. Next on the agenda is the staff liaison report.
So for me, just a quick report. We do have our new director, Dr. Hamilton will be the new director for our department, and she will be starting January 31st. And we'll most likely will have her probably February, March, come introduce herself to the commission. Also, council is working on the direction of boards and commissions, whether they're going to, continue to meet virtually, or if there's going to be a set day when we can start meeting in person. So that's coming. I think they are going to look at that, the upcoming meeting, just to kind of create and see what date that would be if they are planning on starting in person. That's all I have for now.
Okay, great. So we're gonna break into our down and into our committees at this point for a quick report. I know things with Christmas, everything slows down a little bit. So if you, can, whomever speaking, just give a description of what each committee does for our new members. And then if there's any updates, let us know. So we'll start off with the medicine drop-off subcommittee. Susan, I think you're often best to discuss that.
Yeah, it's kind of medicine drop-off / education, I guess. But so my understanding is, just by doing a little Google search, let me back up. So the medicine drop-off is kind of an ongoing thing that the commission's been spearheading at 4 pharmaceutical sites to set up twice a year a medicine take-back event at 4 pharmacies that are willing to work with us. And we did one in the fall. I think we reported that out in December again, or make note of it. And we're looking now toward April the 27th, which is the DEA's medicine take back event. So I haven't heard from our contacts here in Raleigh if they're, any planning there, or if they're going to actually go along with that nationally set date or not. But it probably most likely be in April. And since we only meet monthly, I do want to, anybody who's interested in, every time we look at it, try to soup it up a little more to make it, is make sure we bring all the bells and whistles we can as the public's coming in to meet us and get this information and do these important steps to keep our community safe, what we can do to make the best use of that. So I have some ideas around that. If anybody wants to join in, I can maybe send out some potential meeting times, since it will be here before you know it, since we really only get together, once a month. We would like to step it up a little bit. So there's that. And then even if you aren't helping plan, we do need staff. We need people to staff the tables and be there that day at those 4 sites. So usually everybody on the commission, it's kind of all hands on deck to either take a shift. So either be a part of the planning will be awesome, or just be aware that it's coming up, and we would look to have each member try to take a shift at one of the sites. So that is kind of, I'll try to figure out a way to get the kind of word out and see who would like to help out, or just if I can nail down the date and the time so you can plan for your calendars. So I think that's about, anybody have any questions about it or comments?
I do have to jump off at this point. I did want to really quickly welcome the new members. If you guys have not had a chance to meet with one of us one-on-one, that's a new initiative that we're doing for onboarding with the new members. We were thinking a cup of coffee, that we can kind of talk through the commission, what the vision is moving forward, that we've been working really hard on. So just before I jump off, I'll be reaching out to each one of you and pairing you with somebody to hopefully meet either virtually over coffee, or if you feel comfortable sitting outside at Starbucks, that would be great as well. Because through this Zoom, we feel like we don't really get to know everybody as well as people that have been on prior. So I'll send you an email and we'll try and get something scheduled for you guys. Okay.
Great.
Okay, great.
Thanks,
all right.
Ryan.
Okay, it was good to see everybody. I'll be in touch with everybody later this week. Okay, bye.
All right. So I guess I'll just kind of walk us through. Anybody else feel free to jump in. So that was the education committee. The medicine drop off. I also invite anybody who wants to be on the education committee. That is in the past has just been supporting, whether it be the Post Center does a number of sessions supported financially by the board here, to the commission, on a number of the programs we already provide that for the community, but helping us provide it free. And then also just being there to talk to the public. We've done them online for the last year or so. So we'll be looking to plan some of those in the spring. And then, so if there's not any questions about the Education Committee or medicine drop-off, can let whoever wants to talk about Outreach Subcommittee. Nicholas?
I'll take Outreach. Hi, everybody. Again, I'm Nick. Welcome to all the new members. So we did not meet last month, but we could really use some members. So the purpose of Outreach is to regularly identify key stakeholders in the community, create a regular cadence for communicating with those stakeholders, both talking about the work that we are doing and then also hearing from the constituents in our community, what their needs are, with hopefully getting some information back to the city council and ourselves. And we also have some really great ideas. I will say in the last few months, execution has been a problem, executing those ideas. So I would love, if anybody's interested in joining us, I will actually probably just shoot an email to all the new members. I would love to schedule any time, virtual, in person, to get together and kind of talk about some of those ideas and how we can move them forward. Thank you.
So next on our list is communications. Is that Holly?
Yeah, that's me. So hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Good to see everyone. Not many updates. We're just getting started with the new year, so not a whole lot of updates. Communications will support the other committees in helping with advertising events. We work with the city to get messaging on their City of Raleigh social media accounts. So a lot of our work is done in support of the commission, but also of the committees. And we would love to have some more folks as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Holly.
Okay. So I think is that all of the committees?
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to encourage everyone. We are starting off a new year. And first of all, I want to thank everybody for their hard work last year and facing the challenges and barriers that we had to face to continue with our work. But I want to encourage everybody to think of especially the new ones to the commission. Think of some ideas that you may have about how we can reach the people of Raleigh, or programs or activities that we can do to help with substance use prevention and recovery in the city of Raleigh. Any ideas you have, no idea is outrageous until we can try them. Hopefully I'll be able to come back from Florida, with these Recovery Alternatives Conference, may give me some new ideas, learn some new things people are doing around the country to promote recovery and prevention. But yeah, I want to encourage everybody, speak up, get involved with the committees. Let's get on it, you all. You know my motto, let's not talk about it, let's be about it. And I just want to thank everybody for everything you're doing, and let's try as best we can and staying COVID safe and whatnot to participate in the activities and programs and increase our outreach. I don't know if you all can hear me over this music, but I'm gonna stop right there. But okay, but thank everybody. I just want to encourage everybody, bring your ideas to the table. Let's talk about it and see what we can do new. Thank you.
Has has our committee, or is there potentially another city council committee or organization focused on like providing or like encouraging access or educating people about access to specifically like mental health resources as part of their substance use journey?
I know when we have done the education sessions, we always load up people that participate with kind of our resource list that we give out through the Post Center. So I know there's been, it's been a, from the education committee, I know that we've done some of that. I don't know how much a concerted effort that outside of some of those just handout resources. Anybody else can speak to that or some of the plans we've kind of talked about this year that we had hoped to do. I know that's always and Lynn does a lot of this with her work anyway. Right, Lynn, anything you want to add?
Well, my name is Lynn. I'm with the Alcohol Drug Council of North Carolina. And although our primary resources and information is geared towards substance use, we do also provide information and resources for mental health. And of course, with the pandemic, there has been an increase in that. And we are increasing our database with mental health resources. Yes, thank you, Susan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, part of this prompted by my own like personal experiences that when I was working to recover through issues earlier in my life, I just had a difficult time even finding that type of mental support or even understanding what opportunities there were. And it took me a long time to find that, which I think in a lot of ways delayed my recovery. And I could see there being a lot of value potentially and maybe this is the education committee and potentially helping provide a resource or facilitating resources for people to just know what even is out there to reach out to for support.
Even with the resources that the awareness of what people might find, I'm hearing and that even that there's waiting lists. I mean, that there's very hard for people even to access, even if they can locate things. There's a little delay in getting services and especially for our young people. There's a lot of seems to be talking to counselors and teachers and friends that trying to get their child some of their mental health services has been, and that might be something we share with the city of Raleigh, just our concerns about if we don't meet that need now, certainly it can have a ripple effect for some of the things we deal with as well as, I think that's real important. I appreciate that.
That's certainly true, Susan. We do have a need for adolescent services throughout our state. And with Medicaid transformation right now, we are, navigating the system is a nightmare. Even for people who have insurance, because our agency works with persons with or without insurance, with Medicaid, whatever. And it's just, what I found is the people that are making the decisions don't have the answers. So certainly we don't have the answers to give to those who are seeking treatment. And it's just been really, really difficult. But we're going to get through this, and we're going to learn how to navigate through it so that we can share that information with persons seeking recovery, whether it be mental health or substance use, and have that service available for anyone who needs it. That's just my hope.
Yeah, I wonder, and this would be something I would be very passionate about helping spearhead, but if it would be appropriate for this committee, I guess it would kind of be a combination of outreaches and education to be able to help compile a kind of comprehensive resource of which would obviously evolve over time, but of different like resources and services in the Raleigh area for people looking for specific types of help.
Yeah, Sean, I think that's a great idea. It's just like kind of historically some things we've talked about. And just that kind of candidly, like I think there's a lot of overlap in a lot of the works that each committee does. So, but candidly, we've talked about maybe using our webpage on the city website and some social media to really build like that database of resources, like both locally and maybe in North Carolina, and then providing some education around navigating that stuff. And I would love to get together to talk about that and how we could, build that list and get it out to the people in the city. And I think something like that Lynn was talking about that's really important too is, having those resources, but also how to navigate that, like some basic instruction on how to navigate those resources, whether you're using private insurance or Medicaid, even just building some basic instruction and education around that.
And I just wanted to add, because I own a mental health practice. So I think a major thing is not so much a resource list, is helping people to understand the benefits of mental health services and encouraging them to seek it out. Because generally, if you want the service and you have Medicaid, there's lots of lists that you can find a place to go. The problem is, I think someone said earlier, is that there's waiting lists because the need is great, but there's not, just enough providers in some sense at some agencies. And then also if you have private insurance, you can call, your insurance number to get a list. So I think more so the issue is people understanding and recognizing this is something that would be beneficial to me. So it's first of all helping them to recognize, this is helpful, then these are numbers that you can call. Because sometimes, a list, as soon as you make a list, it's outdated as soon as, different things happen. So that's what I've seen is, an issue. And especially now, like we said, there's like a lot of waiting lists. And then that whole Medicaid transformation has been, like Lynn said, a nightmare for both providers and the members as well. So just, sometimes, like you said, with the social media, encouraging people to keep looking. We know, it's tough, but have you tried this number or things like that, just to keep people encouraged to keep looking until they find the right match. And knowing that the first match may not be the right match, it doesn't mean that therapy is not helpful. It means you might have to, look somewhere else. So I think those type of messages via social media would be helpful to people as well.
Absolutely. I think it'd be helpful too for people to just understand what the different types of services even are, right? And that, if you don't find one type of therapy or service helpful, there's other avenues that might be more effective. And here's what these different forms of therapy or support are intended to provide.
Definitely. And I feel like that's the type of information that's missing more so than a list of providers or these are different resources. Is exactly. What are these resources? How do I access them? How will it help me? Because peer support is something else that's, very helpful on the mental health and substance use side. And, it still amazes me, like a lot of people have never heard of it or don't know what it is, so I think, that type of education would be helpful.
I have one other kind of high level question. We've talked a few times over the past few months when I've been in here about how part of our function is to relay to city council different concerns in the community. When does that happen? Or how do we do that? Like here, if we've identified here that there's certain gaps here, potentially ways that the city could put forward resources to helping people understand different mental health resources, and at what point do we, or how do we help communicate that directly to the city council?
Nick, I didn't know if you and Ryan were kind of talking about, of course, getting Corey there and so forth.
Yeah, Sean, just so you know, I've brought that up too with Ryan a few times, and that's very unclear to me as well. But I think it's a really based on what our kind of mission is, I think it's an important part. So one of the things I've thought about doing is, I know that there's supposed to be time to for us to go to city council and present to them. It's unclear to me when that actually is supposed to happen. Ryan also talked about our city council person that's assigned to this committee is Corey. He's supposed to have come a few times, and I think that personally we need to hold him a little bit more accountable to actually showing up here and being a part of this. And then thirdly, I think it would be really awesome if we could, like, as part of our work plan, like we plan to, I don't know, write some kind of just written document that expresses, our thoughts for the year and send it to city council on a yearly basis or something like that. But Ara, I don't know if you can speak to when we can, present to the council, that kind of thing.
So just a couple of things. You do have your work plan presentation, which that's a yearly thing that occurs. And then there's also your recommendations to council. Recommendations to council come at any point at any time. The council, your commission has, puts together anything, and that usually the process is recommendations would come to me, and we process it through the city clerk's office, and then that goes to the to council directly. The city clerk office processes whatever recommendations you all have. And from there, we see if there is, if you need to be present, or if it's just a recommendation that could be in a written format and they can present it that way. But a city clerk's office is usually who manages how that would be processed. But if there are any recommendations, subcommittees bring about, and you all vote on processing that as a recommendation that goes directly to council, then we will process it that way.
Okay. And yes, and just to piggyback on that, Ara, Ryan, what we do is after we have our retreat and we develop our work plan, then the meeting after that is when we get on the schedule for the city council to present our work plan and present before city council. So that's our formal goal before city council each year. Since COVID, that's all changed. Since city council is the meeting, we can't attend the meeting. But as Ara said, yeah, we can come up with a list of recommendations at any point and submit those to city council. And I will reach out to Mr. Branch, Councilman Branch, and see if I can't pin him down to attend one of our next meetings, get him scheduled. We can put us on his schedule to attend one of the meetings.
Hey, I'll just say as a follow-up, Sean, to some of the things you were talking about earlier with doing some, maybe building a database, like helping people with community resources. I'd be happy to send out an email to everybody and maybe organize a time where we could get together to maybe discuss, moving that forward. So I will do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. And yeah, based on some of the comments that Kemi had as well, I think I've got some ideas turning about how we could try to structure something like that, like in the most effective way to help people really understand the value of as opposed to just like creating a resource that might already exist, adding some actual value there. So I'd love to chat more about that.
Yeah, and just as far as that goes, I know that Nick had mentioned regarding using your website specifically for the commission that is available. Our department also has a resource page within our department, which we are just putting information from all boards and commissions. So just that is being put together. I think there are a couple of resources in there that could have potentially come from this commission. But I can send you the link just to see what's there and additional information that we can add, additional resources that can be added to that. But this portion that you guys are discussing right now, as far as putting additional information and on leading folks to be able to figure out how to utilize the resources, how to reach them, and how to have access to them as well, that could be something that could be posted into your website, a section that can be assigned to that.
Awesome. And Ara, is there any, like, I don't know if you know this offhand or could send us some information. Is there any like vetting process that the city needs to take? Like if we do post resources that are like private hospitals or things like that. Is there any kind of vetting process before that gets added? Just so we're aware of it.
I will find out what the specifications are regarding that. I know that previously, I think December or maybe it was November, I mentioned that the city is working with communications as far as what are some guidelines, more strict guidelines or specific guidelines that we need to follow with boards and commissions. And they are working on that. I'm hoping that we will have something concrete by February, but I can definitely share those once those come out.
Thank you.
We've got about a couple more minutes. I think we're kind of near the end of our agenda. Elliot, is there anything else you want to chime in on, or? Other than that, we might be able to end a few minutes early, or if anybody else has any other comments for the greater good here. Well, I'm so glad, Sean, that you volunteered to be our secretary. We have been lacking for a while, and this is just so helpful for us to be able to have all that. And thank you for taking on that role.
Yeah.
Okay, once again, if possible, you all, and I know everybody has their own concerns, but if the 24th, if you all could attend the movie night, or I'll be sending a flyer out to everybody.
Thank you.
And they can share with others. Give me till Friday to send the flyer out. But yeah, so I'll send the flyer out for this week and for the 24th. And anybody can make it, please do.
And
What
Elliot,
movie is it this week? Or
I'm listening.
what movie is it this month?
Excuse, what movie is it this month?
Generation Found.
Generation Found.
if we could resend out for our new members, kind of if it's around somewhere, either the list of who was either sign up to help or to know, the movie's coming in the coming months here.
Okay. Ara, you got that list I sent you?
You have it? Okay.
I do have the list. The only thing I was noticing on the last list I got, it doesn't show January 24th. It has a different date. So you might have an updated list because the one I have doesn't have the same date. I have the 18th.
All right. Well, I'll send you an updated list of the dates because yeah, there were some changes made. And that way we can get that out to everybody. And if we could, I don't know, Holly, I notice usually you or Sean come up with once we get that updated list out, have everybody sign up to which night that you'll be able to attend and represent the commission. But give me till Friday when I get back home and I'll get that out to everyone. Oh my gosh, that was good. I'm sorry.
All right.
Do we need to move to adjourn or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm gotta say I'm not up on that language.
All right,
Yes.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All right. Yep. Second.
I guess we just raise our hands. I don't see Elliot, but I'll assume he's raising his hand.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, thanks everybody.
Good to see everybody. Be safe.
Take care.